Hello world and welcome to Carowinds. We finally loaded into SCarowinds for the first time in 2 years. They didn't have this in 2020. 2021, it's back. So we're gonna go in and check out all these haunted mazes, they call them, and all of the scare zones and have a really good time. So I'm pumped up. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm gonna give some tips and guides and things throughout the whole thing. So let's go in and have some fun. Now, I didn't even know if they were gonna have an opening ceremony or ceremony, whatever you call it, but apparently they are. So we're gonna go over here and check that out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. I can't even explain. Holy cow, check out this stage. Old creepy paintings, I'm guessing they changed, but I don't see anything changing. So I don't know, but here is the stage I was talking about. Look at this. Holy cow. What did you think about that awesome opening ceremony? My gosh, that was so cool. Somebody's screaming back there. I don't even want to look. But yeah, I'm getting ready to go into these mazes and things, and we're gonna go super quick through them, hopefully. That's the plan, because I bought one of these. Fright Lane pass. It was $45 tonight, but it changes every other night. So if you want one of these to speed through those lines, you're gonna have to go to Carowinds and check out that calendar and see how much they are. Because even though mine's 45 now, it might be a little bit higher later. I think in October it was like in the 60s. So yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a good old time. Our very first scare maze is gonna be over here at Camp Snoopy called Depths of Darkness. But look who I ran into.
Hey guys!
Oh, hey! So are you guys excited?
Yes, very.
See, we all got the Fright Lane pass. We all had to pay for that too, by the way.
Yeah, we did. But we're very happy that we ran into Brad tonight too to go through some of these mazes and scare zones with us.
Yeah.
All right, let's kill it. Let's go do it. In my endless professionalism, I forgot to state their channel name. It's Just Out and About. Kathy
And
Todd. Yeah, go check them out.
Yeah, check us out on Just Out and About.
They have some really good videos.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
No problem. First maze of the night is Depths of Darkness. I think this is about a serial killer. I don't know. We're gonna review it right when it's done, but they say it's dark. I don't know why, like the name doesn't say anything about it being dark. Right under the Intimidator is Depths of Darkness. Holy cow, it's so cool to be able to walk back here. I feel like I'm like backstage or something like that. But we're about to be on stage here in a little bit. Oh my gosh, the first maze of the night. I think I went the wrong way. Oh my lord, that was a lot of fun. Like, it was super pitch black in there. You couldn't see anything at all. Absolutely terrifying sometimes. There was one part where like, there goes the Intimidator. There was one part where they had lasers and fog, and somebody was under the lasers and you could not see them at all. At all. That dude jumped up, about gave me a heart attack. But man, this is so fun to be back at SCarowinds and ready for some Halloween. That was a good house, that really was. One quick little tip that I've learned, and I think it kind of paid off today, was to try to go to the haunted mazes that are furthest from the entrance first. So we just went to Depths of Darkness like you just saw, and there was no wait at all. We walked straight through that maze. So now we're gonna work our way up more towards the front to see if some of the lines have cleared out. Hopefully that's the case, we'll see. We're gonna head into our very first scare zone right underneath Nighthawk, and it's called Ripper Alley. The setting takes place in London, so I'm guessing it has something to do with Jack the Ripper. I'm gonna go in here and check this out. I'm sorry, I cannot bring you guys with me because there is no video recording in any of the scare mazes or scare zones. They made that rule a couple days ago, and I like Carowinds too much to risk that, but I'll tell you exactly what I think of it. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Right after you get out of Ripper Alley, you're gonna head right to the Tooth Fairy. And it is, like I said, right underneath the Nighthawk and right next to this loud music that just ended that I'm sure is copyrighted. So the story of the Tooth Fairy is they are trying to take your teeth and stuff. So I'm gonna give you more of the story when I get out of here and tell you what I think about this maze. I saw some pictures of it on Instagram and it looks awesome. I actually shared it out on my stories. So if you want a quick little view of if you want a quick little view of things to come, you might want to go ahead and follow me on Instagram there. You might get a little early information. What is this on my face? Here it is, the brand new maze for 2021, the Tooth Fairy. We're about to go in and we're gonna have to use our Fright Lane pass because look at the line here. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this little section for Fright Lane. Looks like it's much shorter. All right, that does it for the brand new scare maze here at Carowinds called the Tooth Fairy. And you know, I thought it was really well decorated, but at the time there were not very many scary things to like jump out at you. I mean, it's very gory. This is probably like twice as gory as the one that we just left earlier, Depths of Darkness. But yeah, not that many scare actors to really jump out at you. But I loved the decorations and things. I thought it was very well themed. And we're gonna make our way over to Carnival and check out that scare zone. But SCarowinds has been so much fun. I've missed it like crazy. I want to point out to you guys that there is a big rule in effect right now. You cannot bring bags to the park, period, unless it's a medical situation. And they have a certain size bag that you can even bring for that. So if you need to bring a bag for any reason, you need to check the website and make sure you're in accordance to their rules, because you might get turned back for that. They may not let you bring it in. And also, while we're at it, Carowinds, not just SCarowinds, but Carowinds is now cashless. So you're gonna need to bring like a debit card or a credit card, and if you're a kid and you have cash, you can purchase a card at one of the kiosks and put some money on it. Once you make it over to Windseeker, we're gonna head right up this hill to go to Boo Blaster, that little area there where Chick-fil-A is, and that scare zone is called Outlaws Revenge, right? Yeah, I'm good. So Outlaws Revenge. Like I said before, I can't take you guys in here, but I'll walk in there and then tell you what I think about it here in a second. So far, I feel like these scare zones have been the most kid-friendly thing out here. The mazes I would not bring a kid to unless they were very mature for their age and probably 15 and up. There's just tons of gore and body parts and things in there that I just would not let my daughter see. The scare zones, however, that might be a good way to break your kid in on some of this scary stuff. Outlaws Revenge behind us, remember I talked about going through there? Yeah, it was just like an easy stroll through there. There were people sliding around on the ground and stuff, and that was kind of fun, but nothing too scary. Nothing like disturbing or anything like that. If you head on up to Afterburn, you're gonna see the brand new scare zone called Raven's Nest. So that's what we're gonna do now. Like always, I'll tell you what I think about it here in a second. Right next to the Afterburn at this Bailey's Barnyard gift shop, there's some pretty cool SCarowinds merch. There's gonna be more down the hill at the entrance I'm gonna show you guys, but this is our first look at the merch that they have for SCarowinds. I kind of like this green shirt here with the skeleton and the spider. I think that's pretty cool. This is like that silky material, I think. Yeah, it's kind of cottony, but it's really thin cotton. But yeah, I like this too. It's got a skull on it right behind SCarowinds and some other things up at the top. But there you have it. Good news, the drink plan works here tonight. Raven's Nest, really a bunch of people walking around with like bird beaks and things. They were really cool to look at though. They had really cool masks on. I thought they were awesome. No real scares. Nobody really jumped at us. They just kind of watched us walk by. It was pretty creepy, but like I said before, I really think if I had a younger kid that was interested in something like this, maybe 12 or 13 that wasn't used to it, I think the scare zones would be a perfect way to break them into something like this. The mazes, not so much. That's pretty extreme. We made our way over to Copperhead Strike, and we had to go through Carnival, and that is going to be right behind Mountain Gliders. That building there, that's the exit for Carnival. It was super cool. They literally had a clown in there that was doing magic tricks. He pretended like he took one of our noses and threw it in the air. It was so cool. So here's just an overall glance of what this area is going to look like. I know I can't show much of the scare zones and things, but look how creepy the rest of the park looks. It is so foggy, dark, and it's got such cool, like, creepy looking lights and decorations. I love it here for SCarowinds. Todd, Kathy, and I are going to head over here to County Fair. We're going to check out this Dead Man's Landing scare zone. Now, if you saw my update video, you know it's got a bunch of old looking buildings and things, and it's the little story behind it is about like Blackbeard the pirate invaded that area. So it's real pirate themed. It's got like water in it and like old marketplace looking stuff. But yeah, that's where we're headed to next. I'm excited for this because I like pirates. While we're headed in, I kind of wanted to point out that this Blue Ridge Country Kitchen is not a bad place to eat. I'm telling you, I kind of like it there. So I've heard some people criticize it, but I like the chicken. Some days it's better than others. But I definitely suggest going in there and trying it out, especially when you're tired of like theme park food. You can go in there and get some like rotisserie chicken or sausage or something like that. It's a little bit more like savory. I think that's the first time I've ever used the word savory, by the way. Just came out of Dead Man's Landing and I liked it. I thought it, I mean, it's not absolutely terrifying like these scare mazes, but it was really fun. They had a lot of scare actors in them and they were all, oh my gosh, that scares me. That's that cannon I was telling you all about. You remember in my update video, I said, I think there's a cannon back here. Yeah, that is terrifying. Like, I can feel that hit me. But anyways, super cool scare zone. I loved it. It was very well decorated and a lot of fun. There were some very cool scare actors in there. So far, this is my favorite scare zone. We just made it through Gravewalkers, and that scare zone was pretty good, but I still like Dead Man's Landing. That's still my top scare zone. Now we're gonna head into a maze, and it's called Slaughterhouse. And what's really cool about that was it was my very first haunted maze here at SCarowinds. The first time I came to SCarowinds, this was the first one I did. So it means something to me. I love this one. Now, what it's about is about like some crazy meat market thing with like a butcher cutting up humans and stuff. So it's pretty gory, but I love it. It's one of my favorite scare mazes they have here. And the Slaughterhouse is gonna be right next to the Carolina Cyclone. And right here's the sign for it. You gotta go down this walkway right here, and here's some rare vloggers in the wild. You see right here where it says RE? The scare maze is called, you can go by, it's okay. Scare maze is called Slaughterhouse, but it's about a meat market called Red Ribbon Meats. See the die right there? Die, and it's made out of like the Red Ribbon Meat sign, and it flashes to where all you can see is the DIE. I think that's so cool. I love little touches like that. The theming for Slaughterhouse actually starts in the queue line. You see like these things that were made for cows, you know how they guide them into the butcher's house? It's the same fence that they use to like cue you into the haunted maze here at SCarowinds. It's so cool. Here's a better look at the sign. Just made it out of Slaughterhouse, and Red Ribbon Meats did not disappoint. I love, oh, what was that? I love that maze. It's so gory and so brutal. They had a dude with a pig mask on, and people were getting sawed up in a blade and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm standing right next to Bloodyard. That's gonna be our next scare zone, and they actually have a little show going on right now. I can't take videos of that show because it's inside of the scare zone. Bloodyard was a pretty good scare zone. I kind of liked it. Had some good theming in there, and like I said before, they had a little dance show that was kind of cool. We're gonna head over here to Fury, and I'm gonna see how long the line is. Now keep in mind, this is Friday night. It's a little bit more crowded, they say, on a Saturday, but it is opening night for Friday, so let's just see what the line looks like for the Fury. So yeah, the line is all the way back here where they're sitting, so I would say maybe about 30 to 40 minutes if I had to guess. Up next, we're gonna head on over to Silver Scream Studios, and this says Condemned. How long has this been open?
Well, it's been open for quite a few years now. I'm wondering what changes they've made to it, because there's slight changes made every year.
You got your flashlights ready?
Yeah, turn that off in the scare maze. Yeah, this sucker is old, but hopefully it's still an oldie but goldie. I don't know. We're about to go check it out. Just got out of Silver Scream Studios, and it's a pretty good house. You know, like we talked about, it is an older one. I'm kind of noticing that the houses that they keep that are getting older and older are ones with animatronics in them. So they had like, the story behind Silver Scream Studios is this guy was a director and he wanted a movie, but he ended up killing all of his actors in it. So in the haunted house, you go through scene after scene. I think the first one's a mummy scene, and then the second one's like a mad scientist. Third one's Dracula, and so on. And I have to be honest with you, I think this was one of the less gory houses I've been to. So if you've got a kid that's a little bit freaked out about blood, this one isn't as bad as some of the other ones. I kind of like it. You know, like I said, it's kind of cool that they have some animatronics in it, but it is getting a little bit old. Now, the reason Kathy earlier was holding up the cell phone with the flashlight on it was because in years past, they've turned out the lights and they gave flashlights to the person in the front of the group and flashlights to the person in the back of the group. That didn't happen this year, and I'm guessing it's because they would have to sanitize things. But it was still really good, so I enjoyed that.
So I bit off his head. I think he might be dead. I like that.
All right, now that we've gotten through all this stuff, I think we're gonna try to do the new scare maze called The Reaping. And I don't really know much about it. Like, is there a story to it?
I'm not sure because it's brand spanking new, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm gonna be honest, they have some descriptions on Carowinds.com about some of these scare mazes, but they don't really get too descriptive with these descriptions. Descript. But this one's talking about some, like, cornfield and some scarecrows are mad at you or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna go in there and see what it's about. I'm really pumped because it's in the Rip-Roaring Rapids queue line, and we haven't been in there in forever.
Yeah, Rip-Roaring Rapids has been closed for years now, so I'm looking forward to getting back in there to see what they have.
Yeah, so it'll be cool not only to see a new scare maze, but also to kind of get a glimpse of Rip-Roaring Rapids again.
Yeah.
I try to stay real with you guys, and I'm going to be honest about The Reaping. I had really high hopes for it, but it was really one of my least favorites of tonight. You just walk down like a wooden walkway with rails on it, and they've stacked dead corn stalks along the rails, and like scarecrows are within the corn stalks, and they like shake it and scream at you. And it did get me sometimes. It scared me, but it is nowhere near as elaborate as scare mazes like Slaughterhouse and stuff like that. So I think Slaughterhouse so far is my favorite scare maze, and Dead Man's Landing is my favorite scare zone. So thought I was getting arrested there. But yeah, just my opinion. I try to keep it real and let you guys know what I think, but you know what opinions are like, so you guys may like it, and when you come on another day, it may be a little bit different too, so don't completely write this off. And as promised earlier, I'm going to show you guys the merch. Now it's going to be in the gift shop right here, and this is Starbucks. It's right here's where you enter the park, and right here's the gift shop you want to go to get the merch for SCarowinds. Now we did see some up near Afterburn, but I like this merch a lot. This is such a cool shirt. I probably will buy that before I leave and wear it around. There's another shirt they have for SCarowinds. I'm not seeing, here's some like plushy things. No, those aren't plushy, they're like stress ball material. Here's some plush stuff. There's one of y'all was asking about plush stuff. Here you go. But yeah, how cool is that shirt? So I'm gonna go around to the other side and show you a few more pieces of merchandise they have for SCarowinds. They have a SCarowinds ugly sweater looking thing. It's not actually a sweater, it's a long sleeve shirt, but it just has that design of an ugly sweater for Christmas or something. And here's a hoodie. And here's some tie-dye stuff. And here's some more plush too. So tie-dye, SCarowinds at the bottom, you got a skull at the top. All right, after I got my shirt, we decided to head on back to the Tooth Fairy and try that out again. And I have to say, I do think it was better the second time I went through it. So that's one thing I want to point out to you all. No matter what I say, your experience can differ, because I just did the same scare maze twice and had two different experiences. So I thought the Tooth Fairy was pretty cool. I mean, this time that I went through it, this time, absolutely terrifying. They kept coming up behind me because I was the last person in the group, and at the end you get to see something cool. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I had somebody behind me scare me, and I turned around and someone else was in front of me and it scared me. So yeah, I got shook up in that. That was so much fun. Much better second time though. All right, that does it. We did all 5 mazes and all of the scare zones, and we're headed out here to do an outro, and they have scare actors lined on the walkway saying goodbye to everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.
They popped a wheel or two.
Uh-oh, that don't sound good. Might have to get that looked at. Bye. All right, that's gonna be a wrap for Carowinds 2021. I had a pretty good time, you know. There were definitely some houses that were better than others, and some scare zones that were better than others, but generally, you can't go wrong with this. It's a good time, and no matter what I said about any of the scare zones or any of the mazes, you're gonna have a different experience when you come out here. But yeah, what did you all think? Did you like it?
Yeah, and we totally agree. I mean, you have to come out several times to Carowinds because each time is a totally different experience. We enjoyed the houses tonight. Tonight was opening night. The scare actors were getting used to their first time being out, and I think they did a banged-up job. You know, we had a really good time.
Now, I will say, I don't know what you all's thoughts are on this, but if you can, you know, spend the money on this, it seemed like it helped us out. We went back through the Tooth Fairy a second time, and it seemed like it took, what would you say, about 25 minutes or so?
Probably.
With this, it was pretty much a walk-on everything.
Definitely.
So tonight, for $40-some, I think it was worth it. I don't know about the $60-some prices later on in October, but I liked mine tonight. But anyways, hope you guys had fun. Hope you learned something about Carowinds, and thanks for playing. Oh, by the way, before I leave, go visit their channel, Just Out and About. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Where do you go when it's 12:30 at night and you just finished your first trip to Carowinds' 2021 season? Sonic! I'm gonna eat the nastiest food with the most calories ever. I'm starving.